All right, you guys should be able to hear me now. My apologies for the technical difficulties. But you know what? It seems that sometimes, well, things don't always work out. But you should be able to hear me now. Very, 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 very sorry. But hey, life goes on. Welcome to This Week in Stupid. My name is Adam. If this is your first time here, I have errors like that all the time. Things happen. But for everyone who is out there, I see we got Rich, we got D, I see we got Ozark, we got Isaac, long time no see, buddy, and we got John. All right, well, hey, everyone, Hillary did not get me. I'm still here. I appreciate that as the major concern. All right, I will edit everything out later of that, maybe. Maybe not. We will see. All right, so first off, apologies for last week not getting a live stream out there. I decided that life was better suited being exhausted in bed with my dog. There was a lot of things that happened last week, and some of those things I will actually address later in this episode. However, let's start off with some fun, huh? Oh, not that one. We want the game one. There we go. Okay. Falling iguana alert issued in Florida due to cold temperatures. Don't assume they're dead. It's raining iguanas in Florida, folks. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say this is actually a good thing. You heartless SOB, what is wrong with you? Well, here's the thing. Iguanas are actually an invasive species. They are native to South Central America, and Florida is neither in Central America or South America. Therefore, iguanas falling out of trees is a good thing. And guess what? Well, people are actually now selling these iguanas because they call them the chicken of the trees. Because, of course, every single thing tastes of chicken. If it is not chicken, it still tastes like chicken. I got to address this in the chat real quick. All right. Rich White said, Ozark, are you hinting Kobe suicided himself with a helicopter? Look, guys, I just really want to know what Kobe Bryant had on Hillary Clinton. What did he have? The world will now never know. All right. This next story, we're going to actually fly through this story. It's maybe a shorter, episode, you know. Then again, I always say that, and then it ends up being like an hour and a half every time I do. Imagine that. But I am hopped up on the Red Bull before we even got this started. So, woo! All right. Go back to this screen. People are selling iguanas. Oh my God. Everything tasting like chicken. Let's go to the next story. Rest in peace, Mr. Peanut. Planters kills off iconic mascot in lead up to Super Bowl. Now, I am actually going to go ahead and give Planters, I'm going to go ahead and give them a free advertisement. So, well, y'all enjoy. Watch this. This is great.
I just died in your arms tonight. Oh, look out! Oh! Abandon that! Oh, we're too heavy. Oh. Matt, let go. No, you let go. Hey, Mr. Peanut, no, you don't. Don't do it, Mr. Peanut. No! No! Maybe he'll be all right. Maybe not.
Pretty crazy, huh? So, this mascot, the Planters Peanut, apparently I cannot speak today. They're saying Mr. Peanut's funeral will air on Super Bowl Sunday. So I'm going to go ahead and predict this right now. The Planters Peanut will return. He will be revived during the Super Bowl. We call this marketing, my friends. This is marketing. I mean, you can't kill a mascot that is 104 years old. That would be like Nike taking their iconic check mark and just saying, meh, we don't need this anymore. There are just certain things that work. And I think basically in the lead up to the game, this probably is going to put a lot of Planters Peanuts in people's houses. So good job. And prepare to see the peanut return. Oh, no, I don't want it, whatever that is. From the Charlotte Observer, world's worst cat up for adoption at North Carolina shelter. She's just a jerk. Let's read this. Many cats are a little nuts, but a shelter in North Carolina says it has the world's worst cat and is waiving adoption fees in hopes someone will take Satan's evil spawn off its hands. We thought she was sick. Turns out she's just a jerk. That was what was posted by the Mitchell County Animal Rescue on Facebook. This little hellion's name is Perdita, and she's not for the faint of heart, according to the adoption. And that ad that reads something like, "So it's something you see on a bad dating app." Their words, not mine. I personally believe they are lying, because that is an actual picture, not Photoshop whatsoever. I did not do any Photoshopping, I promise you, of Eleanor, the Titan, who is sleeping right down there. I would take the camera and move it if I could. Right now, she is sleeping as we do this broadcast. She may jump up and slit my throat. So if you see something just jump, hit me, and I go out of screen and you hear screaming, it is because of this cat. So, to the Charlotte Observer, you are fake news of the week. This next one. Oh, okay. We got this. Scroll down a little bit. Doctors beg men not to masturbate with banana peels. I have made some video for this, and I had to. I just had to.
Getting jiggy with it.
Oh my god. Okay. Yes, I used the dancing peanut gif. And yes, that was Will Smith getting jiggy with it. Some of our younger viewers may not be familiar with Will Smith singing. That is actually how his career started. Those of you who are younger out there. Yes, Will Smith used to be a rapper. Can you believe it? Anyways. Sexual peeling. Doctors have warned young men to refrain from using banana peels. The latest bizarre sex trend circulating on social media. I mean, it could be worse. They could be using Tide Pods. As, we've advanced. But you could develop a rash and sores, possibly pain and infection. And I know you six sons of bitches, y'all are all about to go out there and buy bananas. You know what? Doing all this is painful, my friends, reporting this news to you every week, but someone's got to do it. To help you avoid the scourge of banana peels and what they can do to cause you rashes downstairs. So, be safe, my friends. Be safe. Cranking on. Grandmother caught with 200 pounds of methamphetamine. Crystal meth. By the way, I had no idea it actually looked like crystals, which might tell you how naive I am. Okay. A 65-year-old woman and her 19-year-old granddaughter were arrested at, get this, a San Diego border crossing when authorities say they were trying to sneak 200 pounds of methamphetamine into the country. U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers said it happened on January 19th, around 12:40 in the afternoon. The woman, both U.S. citizens, were driving a 2006 Dodge Durango. Basically, a dog found it. They had almost 300 packages of it separated. It weighed 219 pounds, actually. Wow. They found it in the vehicle's roof, the doors, and quarter panels. Estimated to have a street value of $416,000. Almost $500,000 worth of crystal meth. So, what does this tell you? It says, don't trust your little old grandma out there. That little bitty, well, she might be trying to bring 200 pounds plus of meth into the country. Wow. I have to say, I'm kind of impressed, though. Kind of impressed. Speaking of drugs, thief steals cannabis from Chicago airport amnesty box. Serious. Okay. A pot amnesty box. Marijuana has only been illegal in Illinois for 23 days. So in minds of some, the crime that occurred Wednesday at Chicago's Midway Airport was only a matter of time. Chicago police confirmed that a traveler arrived in Chicago grabbed the pot inside Midway's so-called amnesty box, a storage unit near security where passengers can surrender their newly legal cannabis before traveling. Source told NBC5 the marijuana in question had been discovered on a traveler early Wednesday and that person was escorted to the amnesty box where they were allowed to deposit it without any penalty. When police went to the empty box around 8 p.m., the ganja was gone. Gee, I wonder why. A check of airport surveillance shows a man grabbing the pot and hurrying away around 6 p.m. Investigators believe the man had just arrived on a flight and immediately exited the airport. It wasn't clear how he was able to access the box, which should have been blocked. I just want to... Who thought pot boxes were going to be a good idea? Like this wouldn't happen. Hi everybody, welcome to Chicago where ganja is legal now, but if you were going to a place where it's not, just go ahead and put it over here in this box and, well, everyone else, no one's going to break into that. No one's going to want to try to get a free bag of the ganja. So, well, of course, what happened? Someone broke into it and got free pot. I don't even blame the person for doing it. I just think the whole thing's silly. Why don't we just legalize this nationally already? I mean, really, let's be honest. Cat Williams said it best. People get high, the side effects are hungry, happy, sleepy. Come on, let's just get this over with already. But, you know what? It just does seem funny that all the places where they legalize pot, they make guns illegal because they realize the war on drugs didn't work, but damn it, a war on guns will be just fine. Never mind the war on drugs, prohibition, or any time we ever try to put something, make it illegal, and those damn black markets. Do you think a 65-year-old grandmother would be trying to bring 219 pounds of meth worth $500,000 into the United States from Mexico if we just recognize that, meh, people are going to do this shit. They're going to, and it is what it is. Let them do it. Let them kill themselves. Who cares? Now, this next story, though, this one warms my heart a little bit, and I feel like I'm wearing the perfect shirt for it. Stand by. Professor allegedly spent $185,000 of research funds on strippers and bars. This man got his PhD, but he knows how to party. I can't pronounce his name. His name is Chika Onikaka Nwankpa. I try to consider myself a pretty culturally diverse individual, but there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to get this Chad's name right. I mean, I respect the shit out of this dude, but there's no way I'm getting your name right. So I am calling you Bob. So Bob over here allegedly used cancer research funds to have fun with strippers. He served as a professor at Drexel University, where he served as chair of the school's engineering department, according to ABC Philadelphia. As the department chair, Bob had access to funds provided by the Department of the Navy, Department of Energy, and the National Science Foundation. Following an internal audit, Drexel discovered he had made numerous personal purchases between July 2007 and April 2017. So he'd been doing this for well over a decade. Prosecutors claim the professor spent this $185,000 on strippers, nightclubs, and bars. He claimed they were used for catering and food. He also allegedly attempted to get reimbursement using research grant funds. Drexel paid almost $190,000 to the United States government to resolve a potential liability lawsuit. He has been charged with theft by unlawful taking and theft by deception. The guy's a boss. Can't even argue. Would it be a week of This Week in Stupid without talking about sex bots? I don't look out for these stories in particular. I just find them. They come to me. I don't just like search, what are sex bots doing today? These headlines come to me in my searches. These come from respected websites that I visit. Different aggregate websites. Believe me, the website that this one here, the Daily Star. Well, I'm not really familiar with the Daily Star of its credibility or not, or all that good stuff. It was linked on Drudge Report, one of the many resources that I use every day to find these ridiculous stories that we do. Also, apparently there must be a new Mortal Kombat because there is an ad and that game looks pretty badass. Oh yeah, Mortal Kombat 11. I thought 10 just came out, but now we're talking about Pokemon and all that good stuff. But no one cares about those because sex robots with identical human appearance unveiled in groundbreaking AI footage. So then why do we need banana peels anymore, guys? Jeez. You people. So, a sex robot Giant's flagship doll was filmed at a top event following a string of artificial intelligence upgrades. Harmony, produced by Real Doll, was flaunted by engineers at the AVN Adult Entertainment Expo in Las Vegas. The event began on Wednesday, bringing together performers from the adult industry to the Hard Rock Hotel Casino. But Real Doll, also known as Abyss, that's kind of a... Really? You make sex dolls and you're going to call it Abyss? Your company's name is going to be Abyss? You want to have sex with this sex doll? What's your company name? Abyss. I don't really want to have sex with the Abyss. No. Which also, by the way, The Abyss was a decent, 80s movie I think it was? That was pretty cool, actually. Completely off topic. So here we go. I wouldn't really say that Harmony is perfectly realistic here, guys. But it is what it is. But hey, I mean, that might be more enjoyable than a banana peel. You tell me. Or don't. Actually, please don't. There are some things that you should keep to yourselves. This next story, though, this one's great. You're gonna enjoy this, the brilliance of this man. Report: man registers beer as his emotional support animal. Let's pull this one up for you. Some folks turn to alcohol for comfort. Case in point, the New York Post is reporting that a Brooklyn man decided to register beer as his emotional support animal. Floyd Hayes filed the registration on the United States Service Dog Registration website. But will it work? Hayes told the New York Post he thinks it could. I travel from upstate to Brooklyn a lot, he told the paper. And on the bus, they say it's a federal crime to smoke or have an alcoholic beverage, unless by prior written consent. And I always wondered where you get that consent. Not that I'm an alcoholic. Hayes, a creative director, said beer helps him manage his social anxiety much like service animals help their owners. Creative indeed. However, his creativity may not be enough to pass off the bubbly beverage as his emotional support animal, and not just because of obvious reasons. An anonymous worker for the U.S. Service Dog Registration told the paper the registration doesn't have any legal merit, even for animals on 4 legs. He can register his beer all day long. It's not going to get him anywhere, she said. The worker also confirms that anyone with an emotional support animal using public transportation or going into business must have it with medical approval. Hayes, however, told the Post he's been lucky with his pet beer so far and even happily took it to a Brooklyn bus stop with no issues or questions asked. Sometimes you got to get creative. But, you know, I mean, what did he name? Did he name the beer? Like, what would you call it? Bud? Sam? Corona? Actually, my cousin had a dog named Corona. Stella? I think they had a dog named Stella, too, but... Well, they do like their beer, which is funny because they don't drink Bud Light. Whatever. You know, Stella wouldn't be a bad name for a dog, though. Also, though, was it one specific can or bottle of beer, or just would anyone do? These are the questions, my friends. Now, this next story. Let me get around the advertisement. Save you a little bit of having to look at Cooper Anderson, that gray fox. Indian man dies after getting attacked by his rooster on the way to a cockfight. An Indian man had died after a tussle with his rooster on their way to a cockfight. Once again, as much as I like to think that I'm a cultured person and met a lot of people from around the world, I'm not going to try to pronounce this man's name. I'm going to call him Rick. So Rick, 50 years old, was hit in the neck with a blade tied to the rooster's claw January 15th. A police spokesman told CNN the father of 3 was taken to the hospital where he later died from a stroke, believe it or not. Rick, who lived in Pragadavaram village, I got it, Pragadavaram. That's all I got, guys. It's the best I can do. Let's see here. He was a regular local cockfights and on his way to enter the rooster in a competition when it tried to break free. Now, cockfighting has been illegal in India since 1960. However, they still do it because they don't care. Now, afterwards, I heard they gave the rooster the death penalty. He was baked until cooked through at 165 degrees Fahrenheit with garlic, salt, and just a little bit of lemon. It adds flavor, my friends. Yes, that was a terrible joke. That really was bad. Oh my God. Oh, here's an amazing one. Scientists in Britain may have just accidentally found a cure for cancer. So, basically, they found a new type of T cell, and this new cell carries a never-before-seen type of receptor that acts like a grappling hook, latching on to most human cancers. Now, this whole article, they keep talking about how this thing is a miracle, and that's pretty great, but they keep talking about T cells, which makes me think of the T virus and Resident Evil and zombies. So I think they created the cure for cancer by creating zombies. So good job, guys. Good job. You're like, oh, well, we can cure this one thing, but now you're just going to have this problem where you're undead, walk kind of retarded like, and you have this constant hankering to eat some brains. Not to mention, it's all you ever say anymore. You just go, brains. Take your cure, be a zombie or not. Miami PD suspends white officer who begins identifying as black. Let's roll the video.
As far as Captain Carr, she loves to call me a Latin male. I'm a black male. Yes, I am. And I am non-Hispanic. I was born in this country. That's how I feel.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
So you classify yourself today as a black male.
Yes.
When you applied for the police department, did you classify yourself as a black male or a white male at the time?
I think I put white male. I don't know if, I know I put white male, but I don't know if I put Hispanic. No, I know, listen, I know who I am, but it's also,
You
it's
put down
also to
Hispanic
make,
male.
I'm sorry?
You put down Hispanic male, didn't you?
Okay. As a
When-
man, I stand by
When
it.
did you have this, coming with God moment that you were black? When did God tell you that?
Well, I learned that there's people in my family that are mixed and that are black.
I see.
Let's not talk about the degree of blackness.
Oh, no, you're blacker than me. That's obvious. And if you know anything about the one drop rule, which started in the 20th century, which is what identifies and defines, how you doing, what a black male is or a Negro, you would know that if you have one drop of black in you, you are considered black. So you're probably black too, Joe.
Can we do a DNA?
Joe, you're probably
on it?
black. Nobody sent me here, nor did the city manager. I am my own man.
That's right, and you're your own black man, I know.
Yes.
Heard, yeah.
So now I'm being attacked.
Yeah.
Half of my family's Jewish. Probably didn't know that either.
Thank you.
I had enough of that. For Christ's sakes, though, you know what though? This is what happens when identity politics goes too far. This one goes to 11.
This is a top to what we use on stage, but it's very, very special because if you can see, the numbers all go to 11. Look, right across the board. 11,
I see.
11,
and most of
11,
the
and then
amps go up to 10.
Exactly.
Does that mean it's louder? Is it any louder?
Well, it's one louder, isn't it? It's not 10. You see, most blokes are going to be playing at 10. You're on 10 here, all the way up, all the way up,
Yeah.
all the way up. You're on 10 on your guitar. Where can you go from there? Where?
I don't know.
Nowhere, exactly. What we do is if we need that extra push over the cliff, you know what we do?
Put it up to 11.
11, exactly. One louder.
Why don't you just make 10 louder and make 10 be the top number and make that a little louder?
These go to 11.
Yeah, I'm just going to be honest. I've been waiting to use that for a long time. I've actually got a pretty impressive backlog of perfectly memeable video clips. I feel like I need to get a bigger stream deck, though. I have the Elgato, the small stream deck. This thing's awesome. It makes the broadcast a lot smoother. But I want to get a big one now, which if anyone wants to throw me some bones on, on the old Patreon, just saying. It would help. You guys are like, screw you, man. How about you stop doing things like taking weeks off? You only do one show a week, you slacker. As I sit here making fun of myself. Now, this next story, as you guys can tell from my accent, which creeps out every once in a while out there, I'm from the South. And what is one thing we have in the South? Crystal. These little delicious burgers that, well, let's just say they are amazing when you've had a few too many and you feel like eating ridiculous amounts of little miniature burgers. Some bad news, my friends. Southern burger chain Crystal files for bankruptcy. So federal court documents showed Crystal sought Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection in Atlanta on Sunday. The company said it owed between $50 and $100 million to food suppliers, equipment companies, and others. With nearly 350 restaurants in 10 states, the company didn't announce plans to close any locations, but it previously closed dozens of restaurants. The company operates 182 of its current locations with nearly 5,000 employees, and franchises run another 166. So restructuring is coming. They said shifting consumer tastes, growing costs, tight labor markets, and the growth of online food ordering all contributed to the company's financial problems. Dudes, seriously, are you kidding me? These things are, you're sitting on a gold mine here. Start delivering these little burgers to people's homes. They will buy them. It still blows my mind that while we're starting to have things like Grubhub here in the United States, where third-party companies are doing the deliveries for these fast food restaurant chains, that in communist frickin' China, you can get McDonald's delivered. You can get Taco Bell delivered. Come on, guys. You are just missing out on your margins. I mean, especially if you are in a college town and you own or you have a fast food restaurant. Come on, guys. How y'all haven't put 2 and 2 together that you have a just ridiculous way to make money? Look, we have this thing called Amazon now, and this worldwide web, if you will. And ever since it came about, people have loved the idea that they can sit on their fat butts at their house and have this stuff magically show up to them. Pizza delivery has been around for decades, yet we can't figure it out with all these other things. I don't get it. Even I live in Podunk, nowhere, New Hampshire, and there's a local restaurant that is not a chain whatsoever, and if you live within 3 miles, they will deliver for free, and a small fee is added if you live outside that 3-mile radius. Of course, I live about 5 miles away, but you know what? Their food's really gone down in quality, so I don't really order from them or go visit them anymore. Anyways, but still, that is neither here nor there. I live out in the middle of nowhere, and I can get a small local place, but they're running out of business because they can't figure out to just deliver their delicious little burgers. Anyways, we're going to talk about some entertainment news. This comes from good old Destructoid. GameStop is also screwed. So apparently, all these old retailers and burger joints and retailers, they're suffering because of this little thing we call the internet. The players in their power have gone elsewhere. Things continue to get worse for the once mighty game retailer GameStop. For a long time now, net sales have been dropping and net losses have been piling up. The trend snowballed during 2019's holiday season. Let's just go ahead and say that their finances are bad. At one point, they go down to say that, GameStop's not necessarily doomed to fail, but history isn't on its side. Because everyone who gets games now, they're going to pretty much just download them. The digital is definitely taking over. I mean, when you can buy like a 4 terabyte hard drive for like $100, and the data is continually getting cheaper and cheaper. SSDs are even getting bigger, better, faster, cheaper all the time. It is what it is. You really cannot. GameStop can't keep up with that. They literally will be the next Blockbuster they're pretty much the next Blockbuster. But I'll tell you what, GameStop, I will do you like you did me for years. I will buy all your stores for about $3.50. Yeah, how about that? Maybe the fact that we're all still a little bit salty over the fact that we'd pay $50-$60 for a game, sometimes more if we really felt like showing out for some special limited edition one that comes with some extra little stuff. And then we decide that, well, we finished the game and we want to trade it back because there's a new game. Now this game is only like a month old, but you decide that you're only going to give me like $1.50 for it. And and then you're going to resell that game for like $40. So perhaps it is time for you to go down. Ozark, I guess you're catching up, man. Well, maybe a little bit behind, just catching up on the crystal, or maybe my thing's slow. All right, anyways. But I do guess perhaps say that for all of you paying attention to this and actually care, here's what I have to say. I'm a nerd. Kingpin, hey buddy, how are you doing? All right. A couple things to talk about. Few big stories, but since we're already talking about entertainment, Star Trek Picard just came out. I know most of you guys are nerds, so we're just gonna talk about this. Maybe you've seen it, maybe you haven't seen it yet. I will try to talk about it without spoilers, but I think Joe Biden this week really might have summed up my my thoughts on this. Why? I could put that in the context for you, but I'd rather not. Because I just rather enjoyed. In fact, actually, I want to watch it again. Why? I just... The old man's... He's losing his mind, y'all. Anyway, Star Trek Picard. When I found out this was coming out, I was pretty excited. I actually spent last summer, early fall, rewatching the entire Star Trek Next Generation series, all 7 seasons. I didn't do the movies, but I did also start watching Deep Space Nine. I think I'm in the 2nd season of that now, but I kind of took a little bit of break because I was like, wow, I just watched 8 seasons, 8 years of Star Trek, and might need to slow my roll a little bit because, wow. Anyways, I loved Captain Picard in The Next Generation. Was very motivated for this series. But without providing spoilers, here's the summation of the first episode. Captain Picard, Patrick Stewart, Captain Picard. Anyways, he has some weird dreams linked to Data, a painting, and a girl. I'll keep watching for now, but right now I am not sold, guys. Don't get me wrong, I want to like it. I even like Star Trek Discovery and look forward to the next season of it. So I'm a huge fan of the franchise, so don't get me wrong. It's just something seems off. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just that, like, maybe I'm getting tired of Captain Picard, the character himself. Maybe he was best left back then, because maybe I'm just tired of like his arrogant, self-righteous lectures. Like he himself holds the he's just so self-righteous and so pure that no one else's opinions are going to be valid. And believe it or not, the socialist utopia crap with the series doesn't bother me either. Because it's science fiction. It's the only place where socialism works, guys. So I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that perfect little impossible world. Now, it is interesting though to notice that if you watch Discovery, if you watched all that. Oh, yeah. Brief break. Ozark says, I even watched the one with Scott Bakula. I actually enjoyed Enterprise, and as soon as that series got good, they canceled it. Go figure. The first 2 seasons were garbage, and then the third one was like, okay, getting there. 4th season was like, whoa, we're here, Star Trek. Canceled. Done. But anyways, without spoilers, Captain Picard, not too happy with Starfleet, and I'm actually wondering if some of the events in that series with Captain Picard, or Admiral Picard now, are going to lead to, or illustrate, show the decline of Starfleet in what seems to be a massive part of the plot of Star Trek Discovery Season 3, which is not a spoiler because it's in the previews for Season 3. And yeah, anyways. So that's that. I've gone on my Star Trek rant. I may continue to do some more entertainment stuff because I'm starting to realize that with as much of the news and stuff that we cover, it gets a little negative, all that negative energy, and sometimes why the show started as me a way to vent my frustrations and stuff. Sometimes it's nice just to include some other things and just lighten this this show up a little bit. Who knows? Maybe next episode I completely change things and get all serious, but it's my show. I can do that. So next, U.S. politics. Let's hit that some. Impeachment. I don't care. Does anyone actually care? No? Moving on. Okay. So since we were already talking about Star Trek, let's talk about Space Force, huh? Which, here we go. So earlier this week, we get the new logo. Trump shows it on Twitter, and immediately, everyone on the internet was quick to point out this looks just like the Starfleet logo, which I hear what you're saying, but here's the thing about that. The entire, you pointed this out. Okay, yeah, you're so smart. You figured everything out, right? But if you would have spent an extra 5 minutes on the internet doing some research, you would have found that your Orange Man bad rant makes you look stupid because they're like, oh look, Trump ripped off the Star Trek Starfleet logo, ha ha ha. But actually, this logo goes back decades. This is actually very similar, not too different. It's just a slight modernization of the 1986 what was it? It was the, not Starfleet, because now I want to call it that, Space Command. Space Command's 1986 logo looks very reminiscent. And actually, if you really go back, you will find out that the Starfleet logo was inspired by NASA's logo. In fact, I'm going to show you, when even BuzzFeed gets this right. Come on. Okay, so here you can see a comparison between the two logos. They do look very reminiscent of each other. Yes, but let's just keep scrolling down. Okay, here's another version of it. Yep, so looks pretty similar. Okay, oh wait, but here is the Air Force Space Command logo, which this logo is made off of. All right, but you can go, well, Space Command just copied it in the 80s, right? Well, actually, it goes back further. And now you see the what is called the NASA meatball logo, as it's been called. You can see, look right there. Okay, see that little red triangle? That thing? Basically, all Gene Roddenberry and friends did, they went, whoop! Okay? So actually, originally, in 1959, NASA created the logo that was copied by Star Trek. Imagine that. It turns out that unless President Trump as Biff got into a DeLorean and went back in time to change the future, you can't blame the logo design on Donald Trump for looking very similar to the famous science fiction series. Even if George Takei believes that Star Trek has owned some royalties for that. In fact, actually, I think NASA could turn around and say, no, you owe us some royalties. Or we could just sit and realize that they've been copying each other for decades. And who really cares if art imitates life? But yes, when you want to have your fake internet outrage, and even BuzzFeed can show that you're being an idiot, you need to chill. All right. Man, it is really hot in this little room. Oh, geez, now I got pop-ups to get away. Let's take a little Breitbart story. call this our world news story. You're like, man, you stuck with a lot of entertainment today and avoided news. Yep, yeah, I did. I felt like doing that. I'm allowed to. George Soros in Davos. The 2020 election will determine the fate of the world. Dear George Soros, you literally just encouraged everyone paying attention to vote for Trump. Anyone who's paying attention and realizes what a massive piece of shit you are, you Nazi collaborating fuck. Anything that is the opposite of what you want is what people should do. Thank you. Thank you so much for encouraging me, who is just the average voter, to more passionately want to support the man the establishment is trying to take down now, because, quite frankly, you can go fuck yourselves, you Palpatine-looking motherfucker. Seriously, does this guy not look like Emperor Palpatine? You want to know why Emperor Palpatine looks so evil? Because the more you use the dark side of the Force, the more just gnarly and messed up you look. So, yeah, look at that guy. Anyways, let's move on. So now, I was asked if I was going to talk about the Wuhan coronavirus, which goes great with Lyme disease, by the way. I cannot claim that joke as my own. The missus showed me a meme for that. Okay. Seriously, if the ads would go away, that would be fantastic. The Daily Mail apparently is more of a... wow, I just want to show you guys the headlines and stuff. Okay, you know what? Here's what we'll do. Well, there we go. So, China built a lab to study SARS and Ebola in Wuhan, and U.S. biosafety experts warned in 2017 that a virus could escape the facility. That's become key in fighting the outbreak. Now, you also need to keep in mind, Wuhan is where the virus has broken out of, so did it come out of the lab? Maybe. Also interesting, people have been blamed that people eating bats and people eating snakes have been blamed for the outbreak of this bug. Now, first off, I'm not going to be one to judge people for having different cultures and eating different things. But China, you've given the world another reason to hate you. Why couldn't you just stick to fork fried rice, crab rangoons, egg rolls, General Tso's chicken, boneless barbecue chicken? Notice a trend here. Why couldn't you just stick with all those beautiful things that come out of the Chinese buffet? Nope, you had to screw us and start eating weird shit, and now everyone's gonna die because you had to eat bats. As if being commies wasn't enough to hate you. It's now that you're gonna inadvertently kill us. I mean, hell, it'd be one thing if you were actually just trying to, purposely kill us, but now you're just like doing it on accident even. Jesus, guys. Okay. We're going to talk about some gun rights now. Let's talk about the 2A. And yes, you know where we're about to go. But first, we're going to start with New York. New York bill requires mental checks before every firearms purchase. Albany, New York. At some point, you would think the left would realize their gun control isn't working, but that assumes they're okay. Little bias. Senate Bill 7065 requires government mental health check before anyone can purchase, transfer, or exchange a firearm in New York State. This was filed apparently last week. Interesting. And so then, the mental health qualifier will be that you're crazy if you want to buy a gun, therefore you can't buy a gun. Look, communists and dictatorships have historically used mental health as a way to combat political dissidents, and quite frankly, this is tyranny, what they're doing there. Apparently I didn't have the article up for you, so I will show you it from Second Amendment Daily News. That's where I got that story. So now we're going to end this. We're going to talk about Virginia. And this, I'll get to what I just posted up here in just 1 minute. Virginia Democrats push legislation to make criticism of government officials a criminal offense. In the wake of the Virginian gun rally riots that happened on Monday, Democrats in the Capitol decided not to slow down. So now they're pushing through House Bill 1627, which would make it criminal to talk about how much Governor Blackface Klansmen keep them comfortable before you kill them. Can't talk bad about him anymore. So this bill would make it to where said the legislation provides that certain crimes related to threats and harassments may be prosecuted in the inner city of Richmond if the victim is the governor, governor-elect, lieutenant governor-elect, attorney general, or attorney general-elect, or a member or employee of the General Assembly, a justice of the Supreme Court of Virginia, or a judge of the Court of Appeals of Virginia. So basically what they are saying is that they are going to try to criminalize free speech in the state of Virginia to go along with all of the ridiculous gun legislation they have been trying to pass. Now, I realize Monday was a nice little feel-good moment for gun rights activists and even the general population that has guns and was like, whoa, 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 this is a bit much. I'm willing to go out and protest on a Monday because I have it off. So, but they're going to keep, they are going for broke in the state of Virginia to push through way more than just bad gun laws. They're attacking the Second Amendment, absolutely, and that's horrendous. But they're also going for broke on the First Amendment, and there's a whole bunch of other laws that I'm not going to even take the time to cover. That these are bills that they are voting on. So everyone goes, oh well, they're going to push these things through. They're going to push all these bad laws through. Which you can go, well, that's, you know what? Look, we'll fight it. We're going to vote Republican in 2020. Well, here's the thing about that. Governor Northam only has 2 more years in office, and they may vote to go ahead and make it to where the governor term can be, he can have 2 terms for a total of 8 years, which is one of the bills that they have up for running. Which is actually a bill I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to. I just don't want Governor Blackface to have 2 terms. But, so in 2020, they turn the state legislature red. Okay, they got Republicans there. Okay, well, for the next 2 to 6 years, if Governor Blackface stays in office, what's going to happen is they're not going to be able to make any changes during that time. So you're actually looking at what has to happen is in 2020, they have to retake the state legislature. In 2022, they have to take over the governorship, and then they have to aggressively push to repeal all of these laws that are now bills that will be put in place. So it's going to take a minimum of 6 years to undo all the damage that these far left radical tyrants are doing in the state of Virginia. So it's going to be a long, hard push, and they're going to do a lot of damage, and they are trying to do as much damage as possible. It will take years to undo what they've done. Can it be done? Yes. Everyone says, oh, well, let's recall the governor. If you recall the governor, it's going to take you, by the time they've recalled him in Virginia, he's basically just going to be packing up his bags to get out of the office anyways, because his term will likely be up. Because it's going to take a long, long, long time. So, let's go back to this little quote from Voltaire. To learn who rules over you, simply find out who you are not allowed to criticize. They do not want your masses in Virginia do not want you to be able to even criticize the insane things they are doing there. If you think they're even going to stop with this current push, there's going to be more. They're going to keep pushing more and more insane, tyrannical bills until the election takes place. They're just going to keep pushing. They're just going to keep pushing, and because I think they actually believe, maybe they know that the tides are going to turn against them, and they are going to lose office. So they're trying to put as many bills, pass as many bills as possible, make as many laws as possible. Because once a bill has been passed, turned into law, laws are very hard to repeal. I mean, let's be honest. It was 2 years ago. We were looking at. Remember, I can't remember the name of the bill, but basically suppressors, they were going to no longer be NFA items, the Hearing Protection Act, and then Parkland happened, and then that never happened. So we couldn't get those removed from being NFA items, even though for all extensive purposes, a suppressor is a muffler. Really, it's hey guys, we need to make mufflers illegal because we need everyone to know who's coming. I digress. So that's it, everybody. I hate to be leaving you as a Debbie Downer, but this is why you have to always be vigilant, pay attention to politics, be the one who spends time to light the brush fire of liberty under people, because so many people they don't even realize what happens in day-to-day politics. They don't pay attention. You know, they're trying to get their kid to soccer practice. They hear a little bit here and there. Maybe they hear, Rush Limbaugh for 5 minutes on their commute to work, in between jamming out to radio stations. But they're not getting people are not getting all this. They're not seeing all this. And now that some people are, it's already too late. And so if you're in states that are not Virginia, which is the test, you need to start waking people up now and go, look, like Virginia is going to have to be the case where we go, look, Virginia fell. We cannot lose any more. But what's it matter if we just keep losing? Well, I'm just going to move to another state. How's that going to help you? How's it going to help when you move to another state and now you're in the last state that's got these privileges now because the rights have been lost? Things are getting interesting, my friends. Sorry to be such a Debbie Downer and so negative. But I do want to thank everyone for watching. If you stuck it through, which you guys all did, we're still at 7 people, so that's pretty awesome. I know more people will watch this in the replay, but if you're still here and you haven't hit that sub button, I need you to hit that and hit the notification bell. And if you guys have not liked the video, please do help. That engagement helps. We are slowly growing. I for some reason I can't get past 960 right now. I feel like I'm stuck. But once we hit 1,000, that's going to help too. And I know that most people don't like the whole thing with monetization. I know you guys don't want to watch ads and stuff. And even the being monetized, you don't make a lot of money with it, but it does help you in the algorithms. So we got to hit 1,000 so that we can actually boost the channel and grow the channel more. Because once we hit that milestone, YouTube gives you a little bit more love. So, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I will see y'all next week. Deuces.